Welcome to The Informer. Alex Caiafa is about to join us to talk about the AFL because, believe it or not, it's a brand new year, means a brand new season beckons, and importantly, this is the time of year when every football fan has the one thing that they can share: hope. Everybody's training, everybody's back, and Alex Caiafa, what do you think about that? All the clubs can, at this moment, think they can win the 21 premiership.
Coming around quick, isn't it? You know, it felt like just before we'd just had the grand final up at the Gabba, you know, at unusual times, and all of a sudden we're
I actually liked it.
Yeah, we're here in late January, and you know, this is the time when teams really start knuckling down now, and they get ready for, you know, what's going to be a big season ahead. We're expecting a pretty reasonably full season again.
Now, do we know if the pre-season will be a formal pre-season, or because of COVID, they're going to let them play practice games until the season proper comes? And the opening game, of course, will see two old rivals, Carlton take on Richmond, and both sides needing to show their fans. Richmond, of course, we're the premiers, we've still got the muscle. Carlton, very much, we are on track.
Well, Carlton are in the news now. It's their time to go now. They've done some rebuilding. You know, all those young guys that they've built through the draft, they're starting to mature a bit now. Now it's time for them to step up and start making a stand for that football club because, you know, speaking from a fan myself, I know, you know, they all want finals this year.
Now, there is one club. It's been talking about being the biggest club in the country for a long, long time. I'm talking about Collingwood. Now, as we know, it's Eddie Maguire's last year as the president, and already some things happening behind the scenes. The pre-season has seen Graham Wright, a man who was in the club and in the team that won the 1990 premiership. I was there at the G to see them do that. I couldn't believe that game. And here he is. He's been brought back from the Hawks, where he's done a wonderful job for them, to take over as what, the club?
He's the football manager.
Football manager.
He's come across from Hawthorn. He was a part of, you know, the entire Hawthorn rebuild. He helped build them into that premiership team. So I can see why Collingwood have gone out and tried to got him back. He's shown that he can get it done and win premierships. So it's a great get for Collingwood, you must say.
Yeah, that's a great get. But we're hearing the word from the Tiger Land is that Alex Rance, fanciful, wonderful, not coming back. At least not in the immediate future. Yeah,
in the immediate future, nothing's been said yet, but you know, there's always some twists and turns as the year goes on, and you just never know. But at the moment, no. Okay,
well, one thing we do know, a wonderful gesture by the AFL and I suppose the state government. They've marked out a particular part of Birrarung Ma, that lovely concourse that allows you to get to the G, and they've renamed it
Danaher Way.
Danaher Way.
It's
in respect to Neil Danaher, who's just been fighting an amazing battle against Lou Gehrig's disease, or ALS. It's been a very tough time, but what a wonderful gesture, and so well received by the whole family.
Oh, it really is, and he's just such a favourite, and just what he's going through, you see the love that the football community gives him, and it's just a brilliant gesture.
Speaking of love, young James Frawley, who's changed clubs, come back to football. We thought he'd retired. He's going to pay special homage to someone very special to him. What's going on there?
He's going to pay special homage to his uncle Danny, and he's going to wear number 24 for the St Kilda Football Club, which is pretty special for him, and pretty special for the club, bringing that number back, and especially a Frawley wearing it as well. So there's that big sentimental.
That is poignant. That is really, really amazing. Look, the AFLW almost upon us, a week away now, and the word is that the girls are better prepared than they've ever been. But there was a case over the last few days and a judgment handed down by the tribunal. What did you make of the young woman who got a 3-week suspension, or 3-match suspension rather?
I believe that I think the 3 weeks is harsh. I don't think there's anything in it. She tried her hardest to get out of it, and just due to the control of, you know, Bridstack, who was the one that did get injured, it just sort of happened that way, and it looks a lot worse than what it actually is. And
was it a case of the player who got injured? And I don't want to blame her, but it's almost as if she didn't quite know how to tackle, and she got caught in that horrible zone where you're prone, and the girls try to stop, run into her, and of course she's had a medical problem.
it's an education thing. You know, trying to protect the head, and you know, that's what the women are starting to learn now as well, is the different ways to protect their bodies so that we don't get head injuries like that, just like what the men have to do. So it's a lesson that needed to be learned.
And each season, of course, the girls become even more prepared, aren't they? They have another season of preparation in them, another season of training, and their skill level keeps improving. And it should be reflected this year on the pitch, on the field. One thing before we go, we're still looking forward to the big game, the opening game of the AFL season. We'll pit the two champion clubs, let's put it that way. The current premiers, Richmond, up against Carlton. How big is it, and who's it most important for? Is it a super match for Carlton and its fans, or is it a big match for the Tigers, who want to show all and sundry, the pre-season's over, we're back and we mean business?
It's a huge game, and especially because we've got football at the MCG again, so there's that factor of coming back to Melbourne. Richmond are going to be unveiling 2 flags, you know, not just the one, they're going to be unveiling the 2 flags in that round 1. So that's always a pretty big occasion, but I think it's a bigger occasion for Carlton. We know what Richmond can do. They've been a powerhouse the last, 3-4 years, and they've shown that they can do it. It's Carlton's time now to step up and make a stand and say, we can beat these teams and we want to go to that next step. So it's definitely bigger.
Join us each and every week, because Alex Caiafa will be in the Informer chair, giving us the lowdown on the matches that are coming up, and importantly, how the week before went. Thanks very much for joining us, and look forward to seeing you and how your team performs this season.
Thanks, George.